Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel, and if you're new here, be sure to hit that subscribe button and also the notification bell down below so that you'll never miss another upload. In today's video, I did want to share 5 important tips that you should follow if you want to start a healthy heat training hair journey. So the first tip that you need to do to prepare yourself for your heat training journey, you always want to make sure before you go in and start putting heat on your hair needs to be in good, healthy condition to begin with. Otherwise, you're going to be just setting yourself up for disaster if you have split ends, if your hair is currently over processed and not taken care of, if it's dry and brittle. It's just going to be a disaster. So before you start to heat train your hair, you need to make sure that your ends are healthy, your hair is in good condition, you've been using that moisture in your hair to make sure that it's not overly dry, because you can't go in and put heat on overly dry and brittle hair. Otherwise, your hair is just going to fall out. Heat can be very, very damaging, like relaxers can be damaging, and hair coloring and dye can also be damaging. All of the hair that is currently over processed or damaged, you should probably start by doing that and gradually trim your hair so that it gets to a good place, and then start your heat training journey from there. So tip number 2, once your hair is in a healthy place, you've got your hair trimmed, all that good stuff, you next need to make sure that you invest in some good quality heat styling tools. Now, I did do a whole video, and I will be sure to link that above in the cards and also down below in the description, on all of the heat styling tools that I would recommend for when you're heat training your hair. I personally recommend, if you want to heat train your hair in a healthy manner, to do it with a ceramic flat iron versus a titanium flat iron. You can use a titanium flat iron, but just use the titanium in moderation in comparison to the ceramic, because the ceramic flat iron is going to be more gentle on your hair. And also, titanium flat irons heat up very, very quickly, and they transfer heat quickly as well. So that can tend to cause heat damage to your hair if you're not a professional and you don't properly use the titanium flat iron, so you could be doing damage. So I personally suggest to start out with that ceramic flat iron and leave the titanium flat irons to professional use, which is what I do. I only use titanium flat irons on my hair when I go to the salon, which is twice per year. And of course, after you choose those heat styling tools, you need to always make sure to follow up with a good heat protectant when both blow drying and flat ironing or curling your hair. It's going to be so important. It's going to basically act as a barrier to protect your hair from the heat that you're putting on it. So some of the ones that I use and suggest would be to start out with a good blow dry cream like the Lotta Body with coconut and shea oil Sleek Me blowout lotion. Absolutely love this blowout lotion. It makes my hair very soft, and it adds moisture into my hair, which we all need and love when we're heat training. And also a favorite one that I love to use, and I've been using since I was relaxed, it's going to be the Tresemme Heat Tamer Spray. It protects hair up to 450 degrees Fahrenheit, which I absolutely love. This is a absolute must. I love it. So I'll go in with the blow dry cream first, and then I will use a heat protectant afterwards. And then also, when I actually flat iron my hair, I will go in with a serum. And the one that I like to use is the Chi Silk Infusion. I've been using this for years, so I like to add a little bit of this onto my hair right before I flat iron it. It just adds a really, really nice shine. Tip number 3, make sure you have a good regimen. Your regimen needs to consist of both moisture as well as protein. When you're using heat tools on your hair, you need to make sure that you are using both, because your hair needs both. It needs both moisture and protein to thrive and to be healthy, and to give your hair strength and moisture at the same time without breaking off. So you do need both, whether or not you're high porosity or low porosity. So I'm going to give you a few recommendations on some products that I like to use that you can interchange, that have both moisture and protein. So let's start out with my shampoos that I absolutely love, and these are my go-to shampoos that I like to use on my hair. So first up is the Jamaican Black Castor Oil Strengthen and Restore Shampoo. So as you know in the title, it says strengthen and restore. So that's going to be protein based. Anything that says strengthen is going to be protein based. Anything moisture based is usually going to say intensive or hydration or deep conditioning, anything like that. So this one is a protein based shampoo. It's good for if you're chemically treating your hair with relaxers, dyes, heat training. So this is my go-to. As far as a really good hydrating, moisturizing shampoo, one of my go-tos is the Shea Moisture Manuka Honey and Mafura Oil Intensive Hydration Shampoo. So as far as the rinse out shampoo, that is my go-to that I always use. Now I use this to detangle my hair in the shower. It adds a ton of moisture, a ton of hydration. I've used this in plenty of wash days before. So this one is the Aussie. This is the Miracle Moist Conditioner with avocado and jojoba oil. I absolutely love this. This is a go-to. Okay, so as far as my deep conditioning treatment mask, so one, I'm going to show you one that is protein based, and the other one is going to be a moisture based deep conditioning treatment. So the first one up on the list, this is going to be more of a strengthening mask. So this one is called the Myel Rosemary Mint Strengthening Hair Mask. Love this. So this is going to be a strengthening mask. As you can see, the name in the mask is strengthening. So it's going to be a protein based. So as far as my all-time favorite deep conditioning mask, this is like pretty much my go-to mask that I use. So this one's going to be the Shea Moisture Manuka Honey and Mafura Oil Intensive Hydration Hair Mask. This is the one that I always use right after my protein treatments that I do in my hair, so that it is adding that moisture back in. Every time you do your protein treatment, you should always be following up with a deep conditioning hair mask. So that's going to lead me into my protein treatments that I would recommend. And this is one that is my absolute go-to. So this is going to be the Alpha-G Keratin 2-Minute Reconstructor. It adds strength and softness in one step, and it's also effective against heat and chemical damage. As far as the protein treatments, I do them when I need them, like if my hair starts to feel really, really mushy, or my curls just look kind of like dull, and it looks like I'm getting like parts of my hair that look like the curl isn't as defined. Then I will go in to do a protein treatment, or you can use the Olaplex system as well, which I've talked here before on my channel. So, just pay attention to your hair. If it's feeling overly dry, add moisture. If it's feeling limp, if it's feeling mushy, add protein. So tip number 4, turn down the heat. You do not need to be using 450 degrees on your hair every single time you use heat. But somebody like me, I feel like I have medium density hair, so I always use about 410 degrees Fahrenheit on my hair. It just works good for me, and I haven't noticed any crazy damage with me using that temperature. And also, if you have a finer texture hair, you can even go lower than that. So just pay attention to the heat that you're using. Make sure that it is the right heat temperature setting for your hair type. And tip number 5, this is my last tip. Use heat as often as you want to. And what I mean by that, don't feel the pressure to use heat every single week, because that's not necessary. I mean, your goal with heat training shouldn't be to get your hair to be bone straight and look limp and look like, an over-processed relaxer. It should be kind of like to, have, that versatility and to keep your hair healthy. So, I mean, if you don't want to heat train every single month, you don't have to. You can do it every 2 months, every 3 months. You can do it 2 times per year. It doesn't matter. Do it how you want to do it, but I would suggest to no more do it than twice per month. Otherwise, it starts to become damaging when you're overusing heat. So just be careful in that sense. So those are my 5 tips on how to start your healthy heat training hair journey. And if you want to see some other helpful videos, be sure to check out these videos right over here. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.